Welcome back to all of you. Um, in the previous lecture, we had just understood about what is ecological succession, the various causes because of which ecological succession takes place, and we had also understood that what are the types of ecological succession. So, today in this lecture number 2, we will understand about a new topic which is process of ecological succession. So, we start with our understanding of process of ecological succession, that is how actually the ecological succession takes place. So this whole process is actually divided into 5 steps. These steps are nudation, invasion, competition, reaction, and stabilization. So we will be considering each of these steps one after the another. So starting with first of all the first step, that is nudation. So what is nudation? It is the development of a barren area without any form of life. So if you remember, in the first lecture we had just understood that for any succession to happen, the first requirement is to have a barren area that is devoid of life, that which does not have any form of life. So the step that is involved in the development of a barren area is called nudation. Now there are three main causes of nudation. These are topographic causes, climatic, and biotic. Right. So what are topographic causes? First of all, let us know that what is topography. It is the physical appearance of an area, that is how an area looks. So for example, there are various differences in physical appearance of an area. It could be mountains, valleys, plains, right? So these all are different kind of topographies. So based on the topography, for example, if we consider a mountainous area, then there may be soil erosion by gravity, water, or wind. For example, in a mountainous area, um, there may happen sometimes soil erosion, due to which the soil will move down according to the force of gravity. Similarly, if there is rainfall, the soil present over the mountains, they gets washed out and they move down, and this leads to soil erosion. This leads to creation of a barren area. So as shown here in the figure, this is figure of a landslide, where because of landslide, this patches of greenery has just washed out, and hence the area created is barren, open for succession, right? So topographic causes could be deposition of sand as shown here, landslides, right, volcanic activities, and other factors. So this is topographic causes. Now let us look into what is climatic causes. As the name suggests, this is related to climate, that is this nudation happens because of climate. So this could be by formation of glaciers, by a prolonged dry period, by hails, storms, frost, etc. So as shown in the figure, when there is formation of glaciers, we can see that a whole area gets covered with snow, and when there is snow covered and very low temperatures, not all vegetation can survive over it, and hence the vegetation there dies, and this leads to creation of a barren area. Now so let us understand that what is biotic cause of nudation. These are all the living organisms that are present. So these living organisms could be animals, could be human beings, right? So but the most important biotic cause is man itself. um, what happens is man, um, in pursuit of creating buildings, houses and industries, destroys forests and grasslands, and because of which there is creation of barren area. So the forest, it gets destroyed, the grassland gets destroyed, and this leads to creation of a barren area. So these are the three main causes of nudation. So as shown in the figure, many times there is massive cutting of trees, and that leads to creation of barren areas. So these are biotic causes, and man is the most important cause for this kind of nudation. So all of these three kind of causes leads to destruction of whole population of that area, and as the whole population gets destroyed, this leads to creation of a barren area. So now a barren area is created, and this process is called, this step is called the step of nudation, right? Now we move towards our second step, which is called invasion. What is invasion? Invasion is the successful establishment of a species in a barren area. That is, now we know that because of nudation a barren area has formed. So something has to establish itself, something has to grow in this area. So invasion is the successful establishment of a species in a barren area. So that means a particular kind of species has just entered into the area, has invaded that area, which is a barren area, right? So that is invasion. Now invasion has three main steps. These are migration, acasis and aggregation, right? So let us understand that what is migration. Migration is the coming of, landing of seeds, spores or propagules, right, over the barren area. So these seeds, spores or propagules that were present in some other location have reached here, right, which is a barren area. So this is actually possible by air, water and mediums alike. So air and water acts here medium by which the seeds and propagules that are present in one location, as shown in the figure, they travel by the medium of air or water, and they reach a place like this, which is barren, right? So this is the process of migration, where the part of plant or organism, which could be seeds, spores or propagules, they get dispersed. So they get dispersed and they reach this area, right, which is a barren area. So this is also called dispersal of materials, or dispersal of seeds, or dispersal of spores, right? Now as this seeds, spores or propagules, these parts, as they have reached this barren area, they have migrated from some another place to this area. So now these seeds, propagules and spores, they will germinate. So as they will germinate, they will become a new seedling, they will grow into new seedling, right? They will try to establish themselves, they will grow into a new seedling, and there from the seedling it will get converted into adult form, that is adult plant, and from the adult plant it will start reproducing. That means that it will increase its progeny, right? So by increasing its progeny, it is it has just started to adjusting to the prevailing condition. So whatever is the condition during this barren area, in this barren area, that conditions they are trying to just adjust in this step. So they will try to reproduce and they will start adjusting themselves to this situation. Obviously, since the conditions would be harsh conditions because it is a barren condition, so not all will be able to establish themselves. So all the seeds, all the spores, all the propagules that have landed will not germinate, or if all of them will germinate, they may, all of them might not grow into adults, and therefore all of them will not be able to establish themselves because of the harsh conditions. So only those that could actually survive these harsh conditions would be able to establish themselves. So acasis is also called the stage of establishment, or acasis is also called the stage of continuation, right? So this is about acasis. So the seeds that has just migrated from another area has reached a barren area and just tries to germinate, and during this process they start adjusting to the prevailing conditions, which are the harsh conditions, right? So then coming to our next part, which is aggregation, which is the last step of invasion. What happens in aggregation? During acasis they were reproducing the organisms. Due to reproduction, what happens? They increase in number. So organisms that were only 1 or 2 in number now increases in a large number. So as the number increases, they will start coming close to each other. So the whole area gets covered with species of these kinds that are standing close to each other. So that means that they aggregate near each other, and so this is called as aggregation. So this is the step of invasion, where a species has migrated in a barren area. After migration, it tries to germinate and establish itself by adjusting to the prevailing conditions, and then due to reproduction there is an increase in the number, and due to which they aggregate near each other. So this is invasion. Now let us understand that what is competition and coaction. Okay, so in competition and coaction, these two are actually different words but related to each other. So what happens now? From the previous step, during invasion, in the last step we just saw that there are large number of individuals that are getting aggregated. So this large number of individuals, they will come close to each other. But what will happen? Since the number of individual is increasing, the space would be limited. So there is now less space but more individuals, and when this situation arises, there comes the term competition, where because of the limited amount of space and large number of individuals, all of these individuals, they will compete with each other. This competition will be both intraspecific and interspecific. So I suppose that all of you must be knowing what is intra and interspecific, but for those who do not know, intraspecific competition is between competition between the members of the same species, right? And interspecific competition is a competition between the member of two different species. So this competition would be both intraspecific as well as interspecific, that is between same species as well as between different species. Now this competition is mainly for space and nutrition, because the space is less, so these organisms, they will compete for space, and also for nutrition, because not every organism will be able to get nutrition in a proper amount, right? So they will compete for these two things, and hence this is called competition, where organisms compete with each other for space and nutrition. Now this competition is very important. Those organisms that have more reproductive capability and more ecological amplitude will have better competition, and they will be able to survive. Why? Because reproductive capability means the capability of a species to reproduce efficiently. So those organisms that will be able to produce their progenies in a larger number, right, will dominate that area, and therefore have chances of winning the competition. Similarly, ecological amplitude is also a very important factor. Ecological amplitude is related to the elevation height of an area. So for example, in Himalayan areas it has a great elevation, right? So not all organisms will be able to grow at that elevated height. So only those organisms that will be able to grow in such an elevation will have better chances of winning the competition. So these are some factors which play major role in competition, right? Now, since these organisms are competing with each other, so all of these individuals, they are affecting each other's life in various ways, right? The act of some organism is going to affect the act of another organism within the same species, or within or among different species. They are going to affect each other in various ways, and this process is called coaction, right? So every individual is going to affect each other in various ways. This term is called coaction. So here comes the term of survival of fittest. This concept of competition and coaction is related to survival of fittest, where the community which will not be able to compete with other community will get discarded, whereas those that will be able to withstand the competition will become dominant, and that community will ultimately rule over that area. So this is all about survival of fittest, and competition and coaction are related to the concept of survival of fittest, right? Now that you have understood what is competition and coaction, we move forward to understand our next step in the process of ecological succession, which is reaction. So regarding reaction, it is the mechanism of modification of environment through the influence of living organisms on it. We'll get back to this definition later on. First of all, let us see what happens as a result of reaction. Now this reaction is between the living organism and the environment. So as a result of reaction that happens between an organism with its environment, what will happen, that changes will take place in the soil, water, light conditions, temperature, etc. of the environment. So all of the abiotic factors, right, will get changed because of the reaction of organism with the environment. So due to that change, the environment will get completely modified, that is, the environment will get changed. Now since the environment has changed, so this environment now becomes unsuitable for the existing community itself to survive. So the community that was surviving before has changed its own environment in such a way that this environment now becomes unsuitable for the existing community, and hence the existing community will be replaced with a new community, and that is called sterile community, right? So the environment gets modified by the existing community in such a way that it becomes unsuitable for the existing community, and therefore that community gets replaced with a new community. Now this process keeps on repeating one after the another. This is not just one step. This process of replacement and entry of new community will keep on continuing. So this sequence of communities that replace one another, this sequence, when it goes like this is called seer. That is, the sequence of communities that replace one another is called seer, and the various communities that constitute the seer are called sterile communities. So many organisms, they arrive in that area and then they get replaced. Then the organism that arrived in place of replacement, again those organisms, they get replaced and new organisms come. So these communities that constitute the formation of this seer are called sterile communities, and the stages are called sterile stages or developmental stages. So this reaction is actually a very important stage of succession, where each community, they keep on replacing each other one after the another, and this sequence, it keeps on continuing. So this sequence is called seer. This is a very important stage in the process of succession, right? So this is about reaction. Now we move towards our last step, which is stabilization. So stabilization is actually the final stage of succession. So in this stage, the community that will get established is called final community or terminal community. So there are two things that will happen in the final community in stabilization stage. That is, the organism that will get stabilized, that will get established during stabilization, they will get stabilized in that area for a longer period of time. Why? Because they will be able to maintain themselves in equilibrium with the prevailing climate, whatever the climate is present in that area. So those organisms, those community, they are now in equilibrium with the prevailing climate. So because of being in equilibrium, they can survive in that area, they can stabilize themselves in that area for a longer period of time. So this community, which is called final community or terminal community, will not get replaced, right? And hence these are also known as climax community, and the stage is known as climax stage, right? Climax is the ending community, the last community, right? And the stage which is last is known as climax stage. These community will not get replaced unless and until some man-made activities like cutting of forests are carried out, or some natural calamities like forest fires takes place. So these are the stable community, and they will prevail in that environment for a longer period of time. So this is the last stage, which is the stage of stabilization. So now let us just have a quick summary of the process of succession. This is that we had seen earlier. The first step is nudation, which leads to the development of barren area. So now once the barren area is created, this is the process of invasion that follows after nudation. So after the barren area has been created, new species invades. That is new species arrives in that area. They get dispersed from some other area to a new barren area, either by the process of air dispersal or water dispersal. So now that the new species has invaded, then follows the step of competition and coaction, where the species they reproduce, compete, and hence affect each other's life. The species will reproduce, form large number of individuals, and hence they will compete with each other, and during competing with each other, they will affect each other's life, which is called coaction. So then follows the step of reaction, where each organism they will modify their own environment and make their own environment unsuitable for themselves in such a way that they will give way to new communities, and this sequence it keeps on continuing. So this sequence of communities that gets formed one after the another, this sequence is called sear. Now after reaction, the last step is stabilization, where the final climax community it maintains equilibrium with the prevailing climate. So during this whole process of succession, that is from nudation to stabilization, there are several stages present in this process, and each of this stage has its own set of organisms and environment. Just keep in mind these 2 points right now, because in next lecture you will get a more understanding about what are sear, what are seral communities, what are these several stages that we are talking about, and what are the set of organisms and environment that these several stages constitute. Right, so for now just remember that this process has several stages, and all of these stages has its own environment and organisms. Right, so now we come to just last topic, where we have to just understand three terms. These are progressive succession, which means that this is a succession where succession is going to progress. Right, what will happen in progressive succession? The community will become more complex, will have more maximum biomass. So as we saw in the previous process of succession, we could imagine that the community that will be formed will be a progressive community. The succession is progressive because from smaller organisms larger organisms will be formed. There would be more aggregation, and due to which this would be a progressive succession. So here the succession process will progress, it will proceed further. Whereas what is retrogressive succession? This is the another word that we have to understand. This is just the opposite of progressive succession, where the biotic influences have generating effect on the process. So biotic influences, that is the living organisms, sometimes have degenerating effect, that is harmful effect on the process of succession. So the organisms they have destructive effects on the process of succession. So this is a kind of downfall of succession, that is here the process of succession was progressing, but here in retrogressive the process of succession will become more will lead to formation of more simpler communities. So this will make more simpler communities, whereas progressive was going to make more complex communities. So this is retrogressive succession. An example of retrogressive succession could be introduction of grazing animals into the grassland. So for example, in certain grassland area, if animals continuously every day keep on grazing there, what will happen, that grassland will get destroyed completely, because the animals will keep on eating the grassland, and this would lead to destruction of the whole grassland and formation of a new barren area. So this is going other way around, that is, there was a grassland but it is going backward. From a grassland it should have gone to some other shrubby area or to forest conditions, but now the grassland area got converted into barren area. So that is degeneration of grassland. This is destructive effect of organisms. And the third term that we have to understand is deflected succession or deflective succession. So what happens in deflected succession? Here the succession process has deflected from its actual climate, that is, it has deflected the climax that it should have had, but the process has deflected from its actual climax. The climax that was to happen has been deflected because of some reasons. So this could be because the ecosystem may have been stopped from reaching its full climatic climax. Some reasons could be cutting down of the existing vegetation, right? So this is called deflected succession, where the succession has deviated from its actual climax community. So these are just three main terms to understand. So with this we come to the end of our lecture, where we have explained about process of ecological succession. So that is it for now. I'll be back with the continuation of this topic. Till then, I hope all of you will clear your doubts regarding this lecture and learn this topic properly. Also, I would like to request you all that if you have not subscribed to my channel, and if you find the video lectures useful for your studies, then please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Also, if in any case you have any suggestions from your side, you can always put it up in the comment box. And if you have any suggestions for me for making video lectures on any other topic, you can just let me know. I'll be more than happy to make for you, right? Till then, I'll be back with new lecture. Till then, take care. Thank you.